reaction videos I want to do. It's a lot of fun. So now every time I see something interesting on YouTube, I'm like, oh, instead of watching that by myself, why don't I react to that? Why don't I give an off-the-cuff reaction to something fun that I find on YouTube? In this case, we're looking at Hip Hop Universe's Top 100 The Best Hip Hop Albums of All Time. Now, let's take a look and see if this is in order or not. Maybe they'll say if this is in order. It says it's subjective. It says it represents decades of great music. It's always fun to start a conversation like this. It's the kind of thing I want to do too. So I'm going to take the bait. I'm going to check this out. And I will weigh in. So they have number 100, Pimple Butterfly. Let's start this thing. Harlem World by Mace, 1997. Yeah, that had some hits. I think there are probably more albums better than that, but I haven't heard the whole thing, so I can't really say. Pharoah Monch's Internal Affairs, that was a big deal when that came out, and he had his own unique style, definitely in New York based. That was Simon Says was his biggest hit. I'm trying to think of what the label was. I remember he was on a lot of their mixtapes too. It'll come back to me. Alright, The Shining by Smith & Wesson. The Shining, this song is Recognized. It's playing right now. I'm not really familiar with that one. Alright, Onyx's first album. That was so popular when that first came out. I remember I was in college. I was in the summer sessions because there were all these classes that I couldn't handle, so I took them separately. I was with all the athletes and hanging out with them, and we were playing that song, that album a lot. All right, now we got the first album by Busta Rhymes. I didn't think this album was great as a whole, but obviously Got You All in Check was a hip-hop classic, really put him on the map along with Scenario. Alright, J. Rue the Damager. I like, we're seeing a lot of East Coast being represented in this list. This person obviously knows their old school golden age hip-hop, so definitely Come Clean is a classic track. Kiss of Death, I love this album. For me, it's all about 3 songs on this record. I know Jadakiss is extremely popular. OTC Row has him on his top 5. I gotta listen to more Jadakiss, but I like that album a lot. I would think that this one would be a lot higher than, so maybe it's not going based on order, but the first ODB album is the ODB album, along with the second one that was produced by Pharrell. Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, one of the best hip-hop albums of all time. Easily higher than 91, if this, again, is in order. So they had Smith & Wesson, and now they have Black Moon. The song Who Got the Props was their first big hit. But this album has a lot of really good songs, and in the book Check the Technique, they go through it. Alright, now Brand Nubia, this is an album, start to finish, amazing. This was so big, and you can just let this run and be happy. Alright, now Bone Thugs. This is a big West Coast sound, or I'm not even sure. I think they're not from the West Coast though. I'll have to look up on that. I'm sorry, I'm ignorant about them. But I know that they're still making good music. I just was listening to that on a live stream last week, the new stuff coming out. Knowledge is King from Kumo D. His second album, if I'm not mistaken, it had They Want Money, it had I Go to Work. When this came out, this album by NWA was huge. It was a follow-up to Straight Outta Compton. Had some great tracks on it. No Ice Cube, unfortunately. Okay, so AZ is a golden age artist that I know that I need to know better. I don't really know AZ. I know he's huge. Puff Daddy, I never really went out of my way to listen to his solo stuff that much. I know this song was to B.I.G., so that was a big memorial song at the time. The Roots is probably number one on my list, along with Black Thought solo stuff of things I want to listen to more of. I believe I have this album. All right, here we go. Fear of a Black Planet right here. Public Enemy is my favorite rap group of all time, so I'm working on a top 25. It might be expanding to a top 50 because I love them so much. So obviously I love Fear of a Black Planet. This is another album that I don't know how great it is. I think it's mostly based on the strength of 3 or 4 songs, but not in my nature. Stretch, excellent actor as well as rapper. KRS-One, another guy that, for whatever reason, I didn't listen to that much of Boogie Down Productions or KRS-One, even though I have a lot of respect for him. And I do love Love's Gonna Get You. That's one of my favorite rap songs of all time, but I haven't listened to a tremendous amount of BDP. Only the hits. Common, this is an early Common album. I don't know Resurrection. I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity. I'm going to make some notes of some albums that I want to check out. I'll definitely go back to that one. Mecca and the Soul Brother, P-Rock, CL Smooth, classic, When They Reminisce Over You, one of the best rap beats of all time. This is an early Scarface solo album. I'm not familiar with it. I remember when he was with the Ghetto Boys. I remember Mind Playing Tricks on Me, but I remember the stuff even before that and how they were known as such a raw group when they first came out. So I'll check that out. And I have The Fix. I love The Fix. That's a great album. That's a later Scarface album. Lab Cabin California by Pharcyde. Their second big album right after Bizarre Rights and Pharcyde. This has great songs straight through. Really great laid-back sound to that. And their third album, Plain Rap, is awesome too, which is vastly overlooked. I love this album. No One Can Do It Better by the DOC. Tragic story of the DOC. I even like the stuff that he did after this, Helter Skelter, even though he had suffered that traumatic injury. No One Can Do It Better is a phenomenal album start to finish. Master Ace, another one of my favorites. Just a classy, talented rapper who's got so many skills. The song Take a Walk is one of my favorites. The documentary by The Game. This to me is his strongest album, although he does have a lot of good work after this. But this was when he was at his height, back when 50 Cent was at his absolute peak in terms of his popularity. 3 Feet High and Rising, absolutely fantastic, trailblazing album. Another one, you can let it run, and there's just so much work. There's so many tracks, as you can see by the track listed on the right, but just a tremendous amount of beats and originality on that album really paved the way and opened up rap into a whole other style. Mad Villainy, MF Doom, absolutely genius. Sometimes he's a little bit too dense, but he's amazing. Wu-Tang Forever, double CD. When it came out, it just blew everything up because it was their second album that they did as a group. There are a lot of tracks that I love, and you'll see them on my own Wu-Tang Challenge list, which I will be completing shortly. I'm looking forward to hearing what you think about that. Warren G, Regulate. Obviously, you have the big single, Regulate, one of the highest selling Def Jam songs of all time, which is surprising because most people didn't even realize that was Def Jam. I don't know if the rest of the album is that great. I'm sure it's solid. The first LL Cool J album, obviously another trailblazing, important moment for rap music, along with Def Jam, label mate, the Beastie Boys. License to Ill is just such a fun album. Again, start to finish, so good. Mobb Deep, great, trailblazing, tough, hardcore, real rap. I need to know their earlier stuff a little bit better. I'm not as familiar with that album. I don't know this one at all, so this is exactly why I'm happy to be looking at this list, because I want to learn. So Thug Life, I'm not familiar with. Bury Me a G. I'll check it out. I think this won't be the only Outkast album that we see here. This is the first one at 64, Atlian. Just one of the best rap groups of all time, and Big Boy's still making great music. I hope Andre will also do the same thing. This Follow the Leader is one of my favorite albums of all time. Growing up, I listened to this constantly. Follow the Leader, Lyrics of Fury, Microphone Fiend, I memorized. I wanted to do that at hip hop karaoke. Another one of my favorite artists of all time in rap is Kool Keith. He's so prolific, and this is where he got his start. Critical Beatdown is a classic. They make it seem so simple. They're from the Bronx. Check that out if you haven't heard. Critical Beatdown is a great example of really early golden age rap. America's Most Wanted, the first Ice Cube solo album. First track which is playing there, and the one right after, two of my favorite rap songs of all time, but I love Death Certificate. I think that's his best album. Maybe we'll see that later on the list. First Gangstar song right here, first album listed. I love Gangstar. And now we have Mr. Smith, which is kind of surprising. LL's got a lot of albums a lot better than that. I thought that he was a little bit too poppy at this point. I wasn't that interested in that album when it came out, but I do love LL Cool J. Bigger and Dapper, especially Walking with the Panther, Mama Said Knock You Out. Another great MF Doom album. I don't know this one as much. I need to get more into MF Doom. I need to get more into Big L. I know his life was tragically cut short. And everything I've heard by Big L I've really liked, but I haven't dove into his library yet. First Eminem album right here, the Slim Shady LP. I do get the sense that they are doing this in order, so I'm kind of surprised that the Lauryn Hill album was as low as it was, because that is a phenomenal album. When I first got the Slim Shady LP, I brought it back because I was offended by it because I was young and it was crazy to me back then, but now, obviously, I don't scare so easily anymore. Stillmatic, great Nas album. Just did a review of King's Disease. He still got it, but he definitely had it there. Going right back to Lauryn Hill, we got the score from the Fugees. This album is another one great from start to finish. Hugely popular. Not only did it have the pop songs, but it had the rap songs too. So it appealed to everybody back then. Raising Hell from Run DMC, probably their most popular album. It's tricky, great song. This had Walk This Way on it. It had My Adidas on it. Just when Run DMC had reached their absolute peak. The first Cypress Hill album is amazing. Every single song on it is great. Black Sunday followed, and that was more popular. I actually like this album more. This is an album that I had, and I never really listened to it, and I probably should have. I love Mos Def, and these two guys are two of the most respected rappers of their time period.